Greetings of God's grace and peace extended to all of you living in the beautiful island of Barbados. I'm Selwyn Brathwaite, the presiding bishop of the Pentecostal Assemblies of the West Indies. I want to take this time to offer you words of hope and courage as we navigate through this crisis in a season of great uncertainty. When I look back at the nation's history, it really gives me hope as we begin to face this future. We are at a very critical juncture in our lives in this region and also across the world. And one of the reasons why there's such a sense of discomfort and anxiety and fearfulness is because, honestly speaking, very few of us alive, if any of us, have any frame of reference to face this crisis. We are all travelers on this journey, and while we are all doing our best to get rid of, to restrict the spread of this virus called corona, we must also apply the same principles to get rid of the bigger virus, that is, the virus of fear. So my message to you today, in the midst of this mess, is not just to simply say, don't be fearful, but I want to say to us together, we must be courageous. There's something about the word Barbadian that has always been associated with the word bravery, the ability to display and to possess courage in crisis, the state of mind, the quality of mind and spirit that enables you to face danger, to face fear with a sense of self-possession, confidence, and a real sense of resolve and resilience. The confidence to act in accordance to our own sense of belief. That is what we call a true Barbadian. The anthem suggests our forefathers were men of great courage. They stood up against the odds. They possessed a quality of mind. They possessed an attitude that gave them the capacity to face danger, to face fear. Not that they weren't afraid, but they were willing to face their fears with the resolve that it was going to work out. It is through this bravery that they were able to breed what we now call our national pride. This pride is not one that speaks of arrogance, but it's a possession. It speaks of a possession of a positive posture, a positive disposition, a pride that is spoken of again in our national anthem. It speaks of one's sense of proper dignity, one's sense of value, and one's sense of self-respect. It is something that makes you want to say, I am glad to be a Bajan. I'm glad to be a Barbadian citizen. It speaks of having a sense of values that we truly call the Barbadian brand. Today we are faced with a crisis that threatens to disrupt that brand. And therefore, that brand our forefathers gave to us as an inheritance, it is now under threat. Together, we must guard it. Together, we must preserve it. Together, we must protect it. But we cannot do this in our own strength. The scripture says that except the Lord builds the house, the work of the builder is wasted. Except the Lord protects the city, those guarding it, it will be of no good. We must come to the reality that we can put all of the necessary protocols in place for our physical protection. And believe you me, as any right-thinking citizen, we must do so. But unless the Lord gives a protection along with the protocols, this nation will still be at risk. So I trust that in this season, where we are now urged to be physically distant from each other, that we will take this time to draw closer to God. The God that we allude to in our nation's anthem. He is the one that has always been faithful to us. He is the one that has always been able to lead us in crisis. He has always been our bridge over troubled waters. I am convinced today that with him on the people's side, we will have no doubts and we will have no fears. You know, Jesus once made reference to a time in his nation's history when they were faced with an outbreak. And Yahweh spoke to the political leader at that time, and he said to him to make a bronze serpent and to put it before the people. And when this is done, they will actually receive a miracle. And Moses did that, and all of those who looked at that serpent, they lived. I want to say today, as we navigate through this process, that we must take this time to look to Christ in this crisis. And I'm telling you today, I have the confidence that if we look to him as a nation, indeed we will live. So my prayer today is for every single Barbadian, every person who's residing in this beautiful country. I want just to encourage you today to be faithful, to be firm, and to be focused. And may God continue to bless this beautiful island of Barbados.
Till that storm was moved for good, for the Lamb had conquered death, and the dead rose from their tombs, and the angels stood in